Hey guys, and welcome to another video. And today, I thought I'd share some extended footage from my previous video titled Sealing Your Garage. But this is me inspecting around my home, which not many people do themselves, but equally worth doing time to time. So let's go around my neighbor's side, because you'll never know what you'll find. Sometimes you have to move their stuff off your property, just to subtly let them know where to draw the line. This is my dryer vent, and you can always tell it's an exhaust by looking at the flaps, because it only goes one way. You want to make sure that it opens and closes properly, and you'll want to clean out any obstructions. In this case, not much lint, and it's pretty important you have to clean this out time to time. I mean, look at my neighbors. I think I might make a separate video on how I hooked up my dryer vent with smooth metal connections. Because what you saw earlier is all that I have to clean out throughout the year. Again, make sure there's no obstructions. This is my HRV exhaust. I replaced this vent a couple of weeks ago because the flaps on the builder's vent completely warped, making it stay open all the time, inviting a lot of nastiness. So I had to replace it. So you always want to make sure the flaps can open and close easily. Here is the intake. Here, making sure my window looks good, make sure it's clear of anything, in case, God forbid, I have to climb out of there in an emergency. Checking out the downspout, give it a little shake, make sure it's fastened securely. Here, I'm making just a visual inspection of the doors, and also around them, making sure the seals haven't degraded or lifted. Now, if you guys have the same paint peeling issues here, I actually figured out it's the snow that you don't sweep away that causes this issue. Because when it melts in the sun, it somehow gets behind the paint, causing the peeling that you see here. So guys, make sure you clean off the snow in and around the doors. Here you can see some gaps that I spray foamed to prevent spiders and cold air from getting in. Now I'm looking at the other side of my house. I have a vent here that goes directly to my cold room. You definitely want to seal this with silicone to make sure this cover doesn't come loose. Here are some foundation cracks that I had, and I covered it with some polyurethane. Now it won't stop water from getting in, but it may help deter some bugs away. Now, if you have water coming into the basement through these foundation cracks, that's usually a sign of a more serious issue. And typically, it's easier to address it from the inside using an injection method, but it's best to leave it to the pros. Hairline cracks like this is completely normal, and they typically appear in the first few years of a new home as the house settles. Here, part of the window sealant that the builder installed degraded, so I replaced it with some leftover outdoor silicone. Again, give your downspout a little shake, make sure it's not loose. Here I made a cover for my backyard water faucet. I thought it would help insulate it from the cold winters that we have here. It's just made out of packaging foam and some builder tape. Now here's an example of polyurethane cracking. It's because this side of the house gets a lot of sun. Polyurethane isn't that UV resistant as opposed to maybe silicone. Now for the winter season, I choose to cover and protect my AC unit with just a piece of foam board. I definitely don't advise you to wrap it or cover it completely, as it may cause some moisture issues, as well as it invites rodents and pests making a new home in there. The foam board is just there to protect the fan from getting hit by ice coming off your roof. You'll also want to seal around your light fixtures, as rain and bugs might find their way inside the electrical box. Here I use some silicone, but I'll leave the bottom open just for it to breathe and dry. Speaking of breathing, you don't want to cover these holes in your brick. It actually allows for air to move in and out behind the brick and mitigates any moisture issues. But sometimes it also becomes a problem, because in the heat of the summer, I would get so many yellow jackets and hornets making a complete nest in there. I actually use these stainless steel scours I got from the dollar store, which is absolutely perfect for stuffing these spaces, allowing it to breathe as well as block all the hornets from getting in. Well, that's it guys. Hope you learned something. If you did, comment below, hit that like button, and if you really enjoyed this content, consider subscribing to this channel.